What's up? Welcome to the second part of modeling the Giga. This is what we will accomplish in the video. We start adding in the feet, making it into the leg, and then we attach it to the body. We also make some adjustments to the face, and this part here is not covered in this video specifically, but I couldn't find the previous file to this file, so there's a little bit of change in here, but otherwise this is what we will be shooting for. And I know this one is more in real time and more of like a step-by-step explanation versus the first video. So I hope you enjoy, and if you have any questions, just let me know and I'd be more than happy to answer them. All right, take care. Bye. So it does look like the upper part of the jaw kind of overhangs the lower. So I think I'm okay with how that is kind of overshooting that there. But I do want to scale these ones in here. And I'm going to turn on proportional editing. Go into front, SX. And scale that down. I don't want to scale the top in. I'm going to open another image just because I cannot see that jaw very well. And it does look like the whole lower jaw is kind of inside of the upper one. So I think what I'll do is I'll end up selecting, let's start from here. And let's move it to about there. Go to the front. Let's turn off proportional editing. I'm going to scale that in. Let's see how we're doing. Okay, I'm okay with that. And now we can kind of start, well, I'm not going to start shaping anything just yet. I want to keep building the legs and the arms here. Let's start focusing on this arm region here. I believe we could work with 3 cuts. And I'm going to make this here my active element. Scale on the Z. About there. Let me deselect this edge. Scale on the Z. I might just move this over a little bit. I'm just trying to imagine, you know, when I end up deleting this vert here, how it will shape out the shoulder part of the arm, if that makes sense. So if, you know, to put it into perspective, if I eventually we're going to create a hole here, and if I delete this vert, whoops, delete the vert, we're going to end up creating the fingers and the arm, and then it will all join to this kind of rectangle / square. And I think that's perfect. So that'll do. This edge can be a little bit more productive, I think. If I were to move that maybe there and push this over here. I think rather than adding in more and more loop cuts, we can just utilize the edges a little bit better. Okay, so now we need to start thinking about the leg and how I want that to join up to the body. So I think I'm going to add in another loop cut here. It's definitely tougher not having all of the blueprint perspectives, and especially since, you know, they're not matching. I just kind of have to gauge on using as many references that are decent going off of that. So it takes a little bit more planning. Let's see. So the leg's kind of thick. It's probably going to go around here. So if I go out of X-ray mode, let's just say I end up deleting these. Oh, I keep doing that. Okay, I can make that work. All right, let's take a look here again. I need to fatten these guys out. Let's go to the median point, SX, scale that up. Now I'm kind of thinking if maybe I should fatten it up because I feel like the blueprints, I don't know if they're entirely accurate as far as muscle mass and stuff go. I'm just trying to think. I mean, that would be the leg muscle there. He just looks kind of small, especially where the hind leg would kind of join in. But I think I'll just leave it for now, and I'll just go in and tweak it when I join the leg up. All right, so now I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to add in the... So this kind of has the front perspective of the leg. So I think I'm going to add that in here to give me that silhouette to work with. So I'm going to hide this front, and I'm going to add in that reference image. So because I didn't scale, you know, the right perspective or the top perspective, I shouldn't need to scale, you know, this perspective, which is great. I'll just do front perspective leg. And let's see if I can find another image that kind of shows both legs on the ground. I'm going to stick with that and put this in the back. Save. Turn that off so I don't select it. So now I'm going to start mapping this guy out. Let's go with the plane. I'm going to rotate on the X by 90. Scale it down. I'm going to imagine this here is the front toe. Oops. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select all this, move it over, and scale on the X. Let's just swap over to medium point. Let's go to the front, SX. I'm going to select this. See how we're looking. I'm going to delete this back face. And I'm okay with that. So now I'm just going to select this here. I'm going to Shift D, move it on the X, probably to about there, and just rotate on the Z. GX. And everything should be peachy. Okay, so now I'm just going to go ahead and combine the toes, selecting the 4 verts and hitting F. And now the toes are combined. Name it foot. Jump into the front here, and we do have that lower toe digit, which, you know what, I probably could have used one of the toes for this. So what I'll do is I'm just going to end up deleting this edge. Maybe I'll delete this edge, these edges. And I'm just going to Shift D. I'm going to move that up here. And at some point, we'll just end up combining it. So I'll just scale it down and not worry about it. Okay, I'm going to recombine these guys. And now I'm going to go into Edge Select and select these edges. Extrude on the Y. And let's go to the right. Now what I'll do is I'll go to Active Element, Scale in the Z, scale it up. Extrude again. And now I want to start making this kind of into a circle, and then the circle will eventually become the leg. So I'm going to right click and circle. And I don't want the circle to be 100% influenced just yet. So let me scale it to maybe about there. And I know this screencast key is in the way. Let me push it over here. And the angle, let's go ahead and rotate that to about there. You can see the edges look a little bit cleaner. All right, I'm happy with that. I'm gonna rotate probably to about there. Make sure nothing's pinching, which it's not, but I will pull it on the Y a little bit. Rotate again, pull it on the Y, rotate. All right, I'm gonna hop out a medium point, extrude, maybe to about here. I'm gonna rotate, hop into the normal, scale in the Y. Extrude, rotate. I'm going to do SZ0 to flatten that out. Scale in the Y. Hop into the front. SX. Crank this up a little bit. Extrude to about here, SY, front, SX. Now I want to figure out what I'm going to do with this finger here so it's not floating. And I'm going to use the skeletal figure here as my guide. Scale in the Z, I'm going to rotate. And I can finesse it some more. Let's see what we got. So I'm going to select this edge. Let's go to the right perspective. I'm going to pull that in. And these guys I am going to pull out here. those. GY. Hop out of X-ray mode, see how we're looking. Hop in the front. Rotate a little bit there. GX. Rotate. And let's see, we're looking on the right. So it looks like in this image, the toenail is pointed downward more, whereas this one's like sticking out. So I definitely need to fix what's going on here. All right, I'm gonna pull this on the Y, pull it out there. Might even grab this, pull this out on the Y, GY. And these guys can go back here. Move them down on the Z. GY. Double tap G, just slide these down. So now we're going to go ahead and combine the leg to the body. Though I feel like actually we need to pull the leg up a little bit more. So we're going to extrude and medium point selected, SY. Start rotating. I'm going to go into active element and rotate something about there, because we want to have a gap when we merge the two meshes together. And I think I'll do the same here because this looks kind of cramped in here. Actually, I'll go back into medium point and move it on the X. All right, so now we need to create the hole inside of the body mesh. But first, let me see how many verts I used. I think I used 12. I did. So I think I'll select, say, these two here. And let's delete the verts. See how many that gives us. It gives us 10. I do think I could delete. Let me think about this. Well, I guess what we'll have to do is we'll have to extrude an edge out, which is fine. And I'm going to go ahead and delete this half of the body. So now I'm going to make kind of a circle shape, similar to that of the leg. That's looking good. I'm going to move these verts here back because otherwise it'll start cramping the mesh of the leg when we join them. Go into proportional editing, GX, turn that up. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab this edge, I'm going to extrude, scale, and move it back a bit. And this will give us an additional 2 verts to work with. So now we have 12 vertices, which is what we want. And slide these back a bit. I think what I'll do here is, because it is a little cramped, I'll just go ahead and move these on the Y. Okay, so now I think we're good to bridge. So we'll select the leg, we'll select the body, Control J to join the two. Rename this to body. And we'll select the body mesh here. So with loop tools enabled, and if you don't have it enabled, you go to your preferences and type in loop tools, and it comes automatically with Blender. So you just check it and now it's enabled. So right click, loop tools, and bridge. And it looks like it bridged successfully. So I'm going to add in another segment here. So what I want to do here now is, it's just a little pinchy. So I'm just going to grab these verts, Control V, and let's smooth them out. Let's try 2. And we'll do the same. I'm going to go into face select these faces. Okay, that looks good to me. So we'll tab out of that. Now you'll have something that looks like this, though we need to fix the leg up. Now this guy's looking a little like pigeon-toed, and looking at our reference, let me double check this. Well, you can see in this one that there's definitely some space. The feet shouldn't be so close together. So what we'll do is we'll just select these here with proportional editing on, and we're just going to drag the leg out. Okay, I'm okay with that. I don't think it needs to be like as exact. I'm sure there were some unique dinosaurs out there with legs that aren't 100% straight, but that looks fine. Now, one thing I didn't add was the kind of, like elbow knee joint. So we're gonna do that right now. So I'll select these three faces. I'm gonna inset. And then what I'll do is I'll drag it out on the Y. And I'll go ahead and scale that down. Control V, see what this looks like. So I'm definitely thinking the body underneath needs to scale inwards some. So I'm going to scale in the X. I'm going to open a different image just so I can see the side perspective a little bit better. Let's see what this one gives us. So this will wrap it up pretty much for the end of this video. I just finish up by adding in some touches to the tail. But in the next video, we will begin adding in the hands and attaching it to the body, and then also shaping the skull. So I hope to see you then. Take care.